Okay, so picture this. You're in Barovia, a land just soaked in mist and shadow, where the night itself feels like a predator. A small band of heroes is tearing through the streets of a town called Vallaki, and they're not just running for their lives, they're carrying the body of their friend who's already fallen. They are being hunted.
And what's hunting them? It's a barbed devil, a literal fiend from the hells, and its howl is this nightmarish sound of pure torment. It's chucking hellfire at them while they're scrambling away, with the party's fighter Radley just struggling to carry their dead cleric, Traxador. The devil is getting closer. You can feel it. They are completely out of time and fresh out of ideas.
And right when you think it's all over, just as hope is about to completely flatline, a figure just steps out of the mists. This isn't another monster, it's something else entirely. Maybe something even more dangerous.
Yeah, out of all this chaos, this absolute panic, walks a single man, and he's just casually tapping his walking stick on the cobblestones. As he gets closer, they realize who it is. Rudolf van Richten, the monster hunter of legend. His total calm in the middle of this demonic chase is, honestly, just unnerving.
And then Van Richten's calm just shatters. He whips a blade out of his cane, mutters a few words, and this pulse of shimmering blue light just erupts from him. The devil, this massive fiend, stumbles back. Its roar is cut short, and it just vanishes. Gone! In the ringing silence that's left, Van Richten just calmly slides his blade back into his cane and says, "I wasn't even sure that would work." Unbelievable!
Right away, you see Van Richten's mind at work. He tells the party, "Look, you can't go back to the inn." He's certain their enemy has invisible spies everywhere, and going back would get their allies killed. Plus, now his own cover is blown. His hand has been forced. The only way out, he says, is for all of them to flee Vallaki right now, in his wagon.
So the devil is gone? Great. But that just kicks off the next crisis. The town guard is on high alert now, and the whole town is about to go on lockdown. They have to get out, and they have to get out now.
Van Richten hustles them over to his old, faded carnival wagon. But something's off. The Beastmaster, Urihorn, has a panther with him, and it is not happy about this wagon. It's growling, its hackles are raised, and then the whole wagon suddenly lurches, like something huge just shifted around inside. Van Richten has a secret, and whatever it is, it's locked in there with them.
There is absolutely no time to be sneaky. Van Richten just floors it, charging the horse straight at the southern gate. The wooden bar splinters, but a wheel smacks into the brick archway, and the axle just shatters. As the guards are slinging spells at them, Radley and Daramon have to physically lift the broken wagon while Van Richten frantically casts a mending spell, magically stitching the axle back together. It's pure chaos, but they scramble aboard and peel out into the night.
So they've escaped Vallaki. Now they find themselves in the snowy village of Kresk, and they have one single, audacious goal. They carry the body of their friend to the Abbey of St. Markovia because they're hoping for an actual miracle, resurrection. Now, the person they're going to see is called the Abbot. And get this, he's a celestial being, an actual angel who's been twisted and warped by the darkness of Barovia. He's become deranged, obsessed with this plan to build a bride for the land's dark lord out of stitched-together corpses, a flesh golem. This is the holy man they are pinning all their hopes on. See, the party had already done a favor for the abbot. They fetched a wedding dress for his creation. So in return, he agrees to perform the ritual. And, you won't believe it, it works. Traxador is brought back to life, but death leaves a scar. He's weak, fatigued, his voice is soft. The abbot explains that the soul's journey back to the body is a hard one. He's alive, yes, but he's not quite whole. But this miracle has an immediate, terrible price. The local burgomaster sees Traxador walking around alive, and he isn't happy. He's destroyed. You see, his own son just died, and to see the abbot use this incredible power on a total stranger while his own family line is extinguished, it breaks him. He just weeps right there in the street. One party's miracle is another man's deepest tragedy. All right, so with their cleric restored, well, mostly, the party decides to follow up on a lead Van Richten gave them. It points them to a new place, a new mystery, a decrepit, long-forgotten manor house called Argynvost. The whole journey there is just creepy. At one point, a massive swarm of bats just swallows them whole before vanishing into the mists. They take this smaller path up towards the manor, and what greets them is this giant silent statue of a silver dragon.
Now, usually silver dragons are a symbol of good, right? But here, it feels more like a tombstone.
The moment they step inside, this blast of unnatural cold hits them, coming right from the statue. The foyer is dark, dead silent. Then this massive winged shadow zips across the wall and they hear a loud hiss. They find a dining hall that's been completely trashed, and then they find a chapel. And inside, 3 figures in rusted chainmail are just kneeling, silently, before an altar.
So the party has stumbled from a demonic chase to a mad angel right into the heart of something else, and you just know the silence in that chapel is about to be broken in the worst way possible.
One of the adventurers decides to use a little bit of magic to just tap one of the knights on the shoulder. Big mistake. They stir. They rise. 3 skeletal figures holding these tarnished longswords turn to face the party. And their message is simple and chilling. Leave.
Radley, the fighter, steps up to take them on. The result is instant, and it is savage. He blocks one hit with his magical shield, but his second blow lands so hard it nearly rattles his teeth out of his head. In that one moment, the whole party realizes they cannot win this. This isn't a fight, it's a slaughter waiting to happen. They're forced into this desperate, fighting retreat out of the chapel. It's only once they're safely outside that the horrifying truth dawns on them. They weren't just fighting skeletons, they were fighting revenants. These are undead spirits so consumed by a need for revenge that if you destroy their body, their spirit just jumps into another corpse and keeps coming. You can't kill them, you can't stop them, not until their mission is done. And that is the terrifying new reality for this party. They've literally cheated death, they've made a deal with a crazy angel, all to end up facing an enemy that is basically unkillable. It leaves them and us with a really chilling question. How in the world do you defeat an enemy that cannot truly die?